Hi, welcome. In the previous video, we have seen how to find work done or energy expended in an electric field in differential form. So, in this video, we are going to extend that idea for the integral form. So, what does it mean is, for a small distance in electric field, we could easily calculate the energy expended. Now, if the field is very large, non-uniform, okay, in the sense at every point in the field E vector is different, it is not same. So, we have a non-uniform field and the field is pretty large, and the path which is required to move by the charge from one point to another point is also pretty large. In that case, what will be the work done? So, how we are going to express the work done? Theoretically, all the concepts remains the same. Energy absorption, energy, okay, what is the work done or what is the energy expended in pushing that charge in the direction of electric field, opposite direction of electric field, where we are going to get maximum, okay, why it is negative, when it is positive. All these discussions in the previous video of differential form of energy expended remain same. So, here we are just trying to mathematically express energy expended in integral form. Is that fine? Okay. So, I need to consider an electric field as we have considered in the differential form. So, let me first draw that. So, let me consider a large electric field. Just assume that this electric field is very huge. Okay, as you know, this is extending from some positive charge to negative charge or infinity. Then the intensity is E vector. Now, my positive Q, my Q charge is present at some point A in this field. Okay, so let me notate A. So, initially it's somewhere here, my positive charge Q is somewhere here. Now, I need to push this charge, or I have to move this charge to some point here. See here, B. Okay, let me name it as B, some point here along this path. Okay, along this path. So, initially the charge was at A, now it is at B. I have to push this charge from A to B. So, this is against the field in some arbitrary path, okay, which is very long path now. The length of this path is very large now. It is not differential path now. But if it was differential path, if A and B were very near, then we already know what is the equation for the work done. We call it as differential work done. So, the differential work done was given by the equation minus Q E dot dl, delta L, sorry, E dot delta L, is it not? Okay. Now, what I can do is, even though this path is very large, right, from A to B, can I consider or can I divide this path into many small paths? That is possible, right? In the sense, what I am going to do is from A to some distance, let me consider as A dash. So, that much is my differential length delta L. So, I will consider that this entire path from A to B, which is assumed to be very long, very lengthy, I am going to divide it into small differential paths, delta L1, delta L2, something like this. Okay, let me mark that. So, I will initially move from A to A dash, means small steps. Right, when we are moving from or pushing Q from A to B, we will not directly reach B, right? We will do it in small steps. So, let me consider that I have moved it initially from A to A dash, and and the path length be delta L1, the length of the path, small differential path. Then from this A dash, I will move again to this maybe A double dash, another point. Okay, another point. So, I can mark another point here, and this is differential length delta L2. So this way, small steps I take and I reach B. This is very practical. When you are walking from one place to another place, you will not directly fly from here to there, right? You put small steps and you reach there, walk till there. So I am considering that small steps. Instead of considering it as a single long path, I am considering it as a small differential small paths. Is that fine? Now what does it mean? My total work done from moving this charge from A to B can be considered as the work done from A to A dash added with the work done from A dash to A double dash, maybe work done in moving from that point to another point, delta L3. That way I can sum it. Is it not? So mathematically I can write it this way. One more point, one more thing is, in delta L1 I assume that E vector is E1 vector. In delta L2 I assume that E vector is E2 vector. Why I am doing this? Because I am assuming a non-uniform field, very important, just an assumption. I am assuming that this field is not uniform everywhere. Even though in the picture I have drawn it very uniformly, it is not uniform. In the sense, the field intensity measured at particular point here and field intensity measured at some particular point here may not be same. They may vary in magnitude, but direction is same. They may vary in its value or magnitude. So I can say that this field is non-uniform. The number of flux lines is not distributed uniformly in this particular area. That is the meaning. Is that fine? So that when I take A to A dash, I will have a different electric field here. When I go from A dash to A double dash, maybe there will be a different electric field. So I notate it as E1 in case of delta L1 and E2 in case of delta L2. This is just for representation. I can easily assume that the field is uniform also. Nobody will question. Okay, but if it is non-uniform, you should understand that you should be able to consider different electric field at each point in the path. Fine. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Now let me write the total work done can be now calculated as summation of all the small works done, small differential works. That is fine. That is nice, right? So this can be further written as minus Q E1 delta L1 plus E2 delta, all those small works you have to add together, right? L2 then E3 delta. This will go up to I reach B. So I consider that I take so many small steps. So I say that there are n steps. So I write it as En delta Ln. Is that fine? Okay. En delta n. So this, as you know, can be easily written using summation. So I write this equation as minus q summation I equal to 1 to n Ei delta Li. Is this fine? Okay. So I get the total work done in moving a charge from the point A to point B represented by this mathematical equation. Now the next question arises. What if when this path is very large, right? It's not always advisable or practically possible for me to divide this path into so many such a small paths and each time measure what is E1 here, what is, because E1 measuring of E1 E2 will be difficult. It's not that easy. So I have to, in the sense the computational load increases. I have to do very high computations when such mathematical problems comes in physical world. So now my idea is, so I will use a better mathematical computation process. So what I will do is, I will make this path further small. You know that if I make the path further small, I am complicating it. Okay, you may think that way. No, but I am mathematically making it easier. Let us see how. What I am going to do is, I am going to further divide this delta L1 into still smaller path. Okay, something like this. Still smaller path. In the sense, infinitely small paths. I am going to make it as infinitely. In that case, this delta L, okay, this small paths can be noted as dl, okay, dl. Then my small path delta L now becomes dl, because I have divided delta L to dl. So it is now necessary to calculate what is the work done at every instant of dl. Okay, so delta L vector becomes dl vector. So my total work done now is represented as minus q. What will happen if delta L becomes dl? I have to integrate that now from a to b. So I will integrate E dot dl. So this is my energy expended or total work done in moving plus q charge from a point A to a point B in a non-uniform electric field. Right? So please understand that when the path is infinitely small, I would integrate the variation of E for every point on this path along A and B. Then I will get the total work done, and this remains constant. Okay, this minus sign we have already discussed why it is in the previous video. Okay, and Q is the magnitude of the charge which we are trying to move from A to B. Now this idea can be easily extended to write an expression for potential difference in an electric field. We know that we can easily consider work done as potential difference if you are traveling, or basically if you are doing some work to move from one place to another place where the potential differ. In the sense, we have already considered this path, right? From A to B, we have already considered this path. Now what if I consider that there is a potential at A and there is a potential at B, okay, existing potential at A and there is at some potential at this point B. Then the work done in moving a charge from this point to point B will be basically the difference of potential at this point and this point, isn't it? So I can write the work done in moving a charge from A to B as the difference of these potentials at these 2 points. So let the potential at A be represented by VA and potential at point B represented by VB. Then I can easily say that the potential difference between these 2 points is the work done, that is work done is VB minus VA. Because I am moving from point A to point B, so I consider this as higher potential, that's why I am doing some work to move it. So this potential minus lower potential will give me the work done. So mathematically I write the potential difference in an electric field as VB minus VA, okay, which is the expression of work done, that is minus Q integral A to B E dot dl. So this is the expression for potential difference. So the integral form of energy expended can be easily represented as potential difference. So if you require to know the expression of potential difference, if you know the if you know the energy expended in integral form, you can easily write or find what is the potential difference in electric field. So energy expended in the form of integral, okay, when we write mathematical, okay, for a large path, for a large field, for a non-uniform field, we understood how to do it, okay, in the sense we understood how to express it mathematically, the work done, and we also understood or we also discussed that how to extend this idea for finding or expressing potential difference. Now we have to consider, okay, one more case, in the sense I have considered electric field as non-uniform, right? What if electric field is uniform? Now this particular discussion can be easily adapted to any condition. because we have already derived it for non-uniform electric field, so it should not be a problem. If we have done it for an uniform electric field, okay, then it would have been a problem, because if somebody asks you non-uniform field, then okay, you will not be knowing how to derive it. Now we derive it for non-uniform, we can easily extend it to uniform electric field. If it is a uniform electric field, what is the only difference we'll have? The only difference we'll have is this E, okay, in this expression this E will be constant, so this E comes out of this integration. So my expression becomes minus QE integral A to B dl. That's the only difference. So let me write that. So VB minus VA becomes minus Q. So E is constant now, means I am talking about an uniform field. In uniform field E will be constant throughout. I remove it from the integral, so I need not evaluate variation of E with respect to dl. So this becomes integral A to B dl. Now what is integral A to B dl? It is just a path integral. So the total length from A to B can be treated as integral dl. Okay, so this can be further written as QE integral dl is the length of the path from A to B. So I just represent it as LAB. So this is my work done, or this is my potential difference, which is same as potential difference. Okay, so for a uniform field, this equation further simplifies like this. If it is non-uniform field, you can use this equation. Hope the idea of potential difference is very clear. Thank you for watching.